A disabled Army veteran finds a new sport and medicine through adaptive skiing at Breck. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News. First, when Loveland Pass closes for snowstorms like it did over Thanksgiving weekend, CDOT stops traffic on both sides of the Eisenhower Tunnel every hour to let hazardous materials through. But why? CDOT's Tracy Truelove explains.
The rules and regulations are set by Colorado State Patrol, our partners there. And when you have a viable alternate route near a tunnel, and that is what Loveland Pass is identified as, you put hazmat there.
It comes down to safety. There is a new fire suppression system in the tunnel, but Truelove says it is not made for hazmat fires.
To put out a gas tanker fire is a different story, and you have to look at the life safety issues that you're talking about in that instance.
Industries like oil and gas recently approached CDOT asking officials to deregulate hazmat travel through the tunnels. It is a lengthy process.
Right now, it's just getting the conversation started and having the right people at tables. Summit County has a tremendous stake in those kinds of decisions.
Truelove says industry officials open the hazmat conversation every few years, and talks right now are preliminary. There is zero chance of hazmat cruising the tunnel with passenger vehicles anytime soon. We hear the term hazmat plenty, but what exactly are truckers hauling over Loveland Pass? Hazardous materials include radioactive and non-radioactive cargo, like explosives, poisons, corrosive acid, gasoline, and organics like sewage. Truelove points to an example this April when a truck hauling hydrochloric acid started leaking and closed westbound I-70 at Copper for hours.
There's all kinds of things that are going on those routes, and again, that's why Colorado Patrol plays such a vital part.
If a hazmat vehicle were to crash or leak in the Eisenhower Tunnel during peak travel, hundreds of passenger vehicles could be exposed inside the 1.7-mile bore. This week is the 31st anniversary of the Hartford Ski Spectacular and massive gathering of disabled veterans and coaches in Breckenridge. More than 800 people are in town for the event, sponsored by Disabled Sports USA.
We have survivors coming from Las Vegas. We have people coming from Boston, from Walter Reed, from just about anywhere you can think of.
That was Glenn Mary, executive director for the nonprofit. The event is more than alpine skiing and snowboarding, with ice skating, curling, and Nordic.
It all comes down to one thing. People enjoy sport. People with disabilities, people who don't have disabilities. This is an opportunity for people to realize that they can participate, whether it's on the snow or the ice or wherever.
Landon Ranker is one of more than 100 disabled veterans in Breckenridge this week. It is the Army veteran's fourth year at the Ski Spectacular after suffering a traumatic brain injury from a mortar explosion in Afghanistan in 2008.
You know, the mortars, what they used for avalanche control, same type of thing.
The Colorado Springs native also suffered injuries to his knees and Achilles tendons, leading to years of rehab.
I went through a lot of rehab and stuff like that. And during that process, you don't know if you're going to be able to do the stuff you used to be able to do.
Ranker wasn't even sure if he could stand on skis when he first visited Breck in 2010. By the end of the day, he was making turns.
I enjoy it, and it's fun, and a lot of the trills and stuff were like military-type training, so it processed with me very easily.
Today, Ranker is an ambassador for the healing power of adaptive sport, especially for wounded veterans.
The more active they get, the less they rely on painkillers and medications.
Catch disabled athletes in action this Friday and Saturday at impromptu races on Peak 9. Today is Colorado Gives Day, a statewide drive to raise cash for nonprofits, and you can donate now to Summit nonprofits through coloradogives.org. Search by location or name to show love for more than 30 local nonprofits. That's coloradogives.org before midnight tonight. In sports, the Avalanche play the Penguins tonight. Puck drop is 5 p.m. And in local sports, brought to you by Deep Water Mountain Inc., all Summit High sports teams have the day off. This morning was race 3 in the Rise and Shine Rando Series at Arapahoe Basin, where Rory Kelly won the men's race for a second straight week, and Nikki LaRochelle picked up her first win of the winter. The series returns after Christmas on January 8th. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News.